So one is for the charter, the general information document. This document has other links as well, the link for the charter. We also set up, so you can see that we have a greater chat room, so anyone who has account with GitHub can join in the chat room as well, or you can chat in the chat provided with meeting. Apart from that, if anyone has not joined our Google group yet, I would recommend you to join our Google group as well. If you want to be a member of this community, you can add your name in the members list as well. It is a Google Doc. You can get the link from this general information document. So, is there anyone new here who was not there in the last call? I would like you to introduce yourself. If you're new here, I would like to get your name, your company, one reason why you want to be part of Video xAPI, and how do you plan to contribute?
Hi, this is Tyler Mulligan with ADL. I'm just here to listen in and see what's going on.
Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
It's Brett Weinraub with Aura Software. Sort of the same. I'm listening in, seeing what's going on. Whether I will actually contribute or not, I'm sort of going to decide later.
Awesome. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Santosh, and my company name is xAPI, and we are writing some tools for tracking purposes inside our system. So I wanted to see and understand that how the video tracking is going to, evolve. So for that reason, I'm listening in today. And in terms of participations, if I see that there's any value I can add, then definitely I'll participate.
Awesome, that's great. Paul, I think you're here for the first time.
Hi, yeah, this is Shuangbo Wang. I'm a professor, Paul, at the University of Maryland. We have done some research about a video index. Basically, we analyze videos. We get the content and transcript, not consent. So we were supported by grant from National Science Foundation and the Department of Education. Now we got another grant from the National Science Foundation for continuing doing the research. I'm interested to see what API video can do. Thank you.
Awesome, great.
Hi, this is Brenda Bennon. I'm an associate professor of the Division of Learning Technologies at George Mason University, and I'm a colleague of Shuangbao's who just spoke, and we're interested in xAPI for observational research related to learning technologies.
Ingo, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, sure. Hi, this is Ingo Dan from the University in Koblenz in Germany, and I'm running the Central E-Learning Institute, and I have been close beginning, and well, I'm here to get some ideas on how xAPI might be used in videos and to see some interesting use cases.
Great. So if ever everyone doesn't know, Ingo has been part of xAPI community from the very beginning. has been a major contributor here. Is there anyone else? Eric, were you there last time?
I think Eric might be unable to, he might be muted, or he's not muted from this side, but he's definitely, he had typed in some information into the chat box, I think. He has no microphone. Eric, you're living in the last century. Sorry about that.
Chris, can you
I'm sorry? Your Bluetooth died on you. No, you're forgiven, Eric. And I guess the last, I'm not new. Sorry for butting in there. My name's Craig Wiggins. I'm with ADL, and I am here to observe and watch Pankaj do his thing. But I'm really happy to see a lot of the new faces or names.
Chris, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, yeah, I'm Chris Kaplan. I'm with GP Strategies, and I'm just here mostly to listen. If I can contribute, I will, but just kind of following xAPI for a long time and excited about potential. So that's it.
Yeah, thanks. So I have pasted a lot of links in the chat window if you guys have not seen. I would want everyone to be on the general information document at least. And we also have a chat room, a Gitter chat room. Everyone who has an account on GitHub or can create a free account on GitHub can join the chat room on Gitter as well. If anyone is on the document, it would be great if you are logged in so that we know who are contributing and who are adding the information to this document. It is a scratchpad document, so you can add anything you want useful. It is not restricted that only I or Jason or people from ADL would be adding information here. It is just scratchpad. This is not the final document. So you guys can keep adding information, your thoughts to this general information document. Apart from that, we also have a charter document that we have to still complete. It is just the template that we have. We have not added any relevant information apart from very few things we changed. Because a lot of people are new here in this meeting, we just so everyone knows, we had one meeting before this, and we had some members added to this list. So if you guys want to be part of this committee, it would be great to have your name here. If anyone wants to take some leadership roles, you can add your name as documentation lead, communication lead, or technical lead. We want some more people to take up some responsibilities here. Today we have Sazia. She will be taking notes from for helping me here. I feel a lot of you are already on the document. So the key. So the key things we want to do today is get some missions and goals and objectives for this group today, and we also have a presentation from Andrew on video recipes. So for people who are new to this group and new to xAPI, I would like to tell that there has been some efforts already done by people outside of this group or people involved in this group related to video tracking. So people from RustC have worked on video recipes, and they have done a lot of work on that, getting to a conclusion on what would be a good way to track videos. So can we transfer or make Andrew a presenter so that he can share his slides?
Yes, Andrew, you are the presenter now.
Excellent. Let me just get the right screen up. And you should be able to see my screen, and you should see YouTube. Can everyone see YouTube?
Yep.
Yep, we do now.
Perfect. So yeah, I want to start off by just showing you guys a quick demo of a tool that just a prototype that follows this pattern, and then I'll work back from there and show you the actual the recipe that describes the statements that are being generated. So let's say we're on YouTube and I'm finding a video for my learners. I'll go and I'll find this video. This is a great video, I'm sure. So I'm going to click on share, and I'm going to copy this YouTube link here. And then I can go to this page. Imagine this is my LMS, and I can drop the YouTube link in there, and I can click load video, and I get an error occurred. That's no good, is it? Let me refresh this page. I'll tell you, we'll stick with the latest video. This is just a prototype. We'll stick with this video that we've got here already, and that's going to play this video. And in fact, let me just pause that. We'll stay being as Brian. So I've just paused that video. I'm going to skip forward. I'm going to play it again from this point. I'm going to skip forward again. I'm going to play it, and then maybe I'll go back. And I've moved around in that video, right? I've played it, I've paused it, I've gone back and forwards. Okay, so let's go to the LRS. I'm going to refresh my statements, and we can see that Brian Miller, who just happened to be the user there, has launched the video. See Brian Miller, the verb there is launched. We've got the object somewhere down here. We've got the object. The object is the YouTube video. And we've got the video, the type of video, and we've got an extension, which is the duration of the video that where I started off watching from. And you'll see we've got all these other statements here. We've played the video, we've watched bits of the video, we've paused the video, and you can see that all the clicking that I did there has all been tracked as different TinCan statements. So that's the kind of application that you can do with this recipe, the use cases that we've covered, pausing the video, playing the video, launching the video, all those different things. There is a blog about it, which if you just literally go to tincanapi.com/YouTube, you can see you get one blog, and then within that blog, near the bottom, there's a link to another blog. And that's probably the easiest way to find those two blogs. So that's a demo. That's where the blogs are. That gives you a bit of background about the project. So I'm going to spend a bit more time now talking about the recipe and give you guys an opportunity to ask some questions. So yeah, recipe, if you're not familiar with that term, this is what we're calling a way of describing, a way of tracking a particular use case for TinCan. So the way I imagine it working is that a community of practice will produce a recipe. So this is a recipe that's been produced. We have this basic section at the top here. It's to say that all statements include the recipe ID in the category context activity list. So that means that anyone looking at any of the statements in this recipe knows that we're following that recipe, and they can handle that data, in response to that fact. We obviously include the agent who watched the video, and the video activity is the object of the statement. So the agent and the object are pretty tied up, and it's the verbs that change. The definition, we have the type video, and we have an extension, which is the length of the video. I think I said earlier that it was the how far when I started watching the video. That's not right. It's the length of the video. Then different statements: play, pause, watch, skip, and complete. So play is where you start watching the video. You press that play button. Then we issue a statement. We're using the play verb, and we've got an extension, which is the point in time where the video was started. So if you started playing it halfway through, we'd be recording that, the exact point where you started watching the video. If you pause the video, again, we're recording the exact point in time where you paused the video. And again, there's a verb there for that. Watching the video, this is when the video is paused when the previous state of the video was playing. So this is talking about a section of the video that's been watched. You've watched this bit of the video up until this bit of the video, but you haven't finished the video, you've just paused it. So you've watched that period. So whenever we're issuing this pause statement, we're also going to be issuing a watch statement. The pause statement tells you paused the video. The watch statement is about the bit of the video that you watched before you paused it. That makes sense. And then we've got extensions there, so starting point and the ending point. So when you started watching the video and when you finished watching the video. So the same ending point as the pause statement. Skipping. This is when the video is paused when the previous state of the video was paused. So you've paused the video and you're moving the video forward to another point in time where the video is still paused. You're using the skip statement. We didn't get any of those when I was clicking through earlier. Use the skip verb, and again you've got starting point and ending point. So watch is used when you've moved from one place in the video to another place in the video by actually watching it, and skipping is where you skip. Makes sense. And finally, complete is when you get to the end of the video. So whether or not you've watched the whole video, if you get to the end of the video, maybe you skip to the end, you get the complete statement. And again, we've got the verb there. We're using the activity stream verbs for a lot of the statements here, so we're using the activity stream complete there. And again, we've got an extension for ending point. So the end of the video would be that ending point in that case. So that's the recipe. You've seen the demo. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, it looks like we have one from Ingo. He asks, can you give cases how this may be used to improve learning? For example, do you have any idea for aggregation of the LRS data in a way that is helpful for a learner or a teacher?
So how this data would be used to, okay, so one way is looking at the data to improve your videos. So if you may find that learners are consistently skipping over a particular section, that's going to be useful to tell you something about that section. Or maybe it might be that it tells you something about the particular point in the video. So maybe you find that regardless of the video, your learners are always skipping forward when you get over 20 minutes. They just start skipping. That might tell you something about video length. So there's certainly some things you can get from just looking at the data in terms of improving the quality of future videos and improving the effectiveness of future videos. I think with any tin can data that's probably the case. And equally, there may be things you can do in terms of using the data to personalize the learner's experience, which again applies not just to video. So potentially if somebody watches a particular section multiple times, if you're being really clever and putting a lot of metadata in there, you might know what that section's about and might be able to provide them with additional learning materials about that particular topic. So there's a couple of applications. Does that answer what you're asking, Ingo?
I think so. Sorry, I was waiting to see if Ingo had another comment.
Yes, it's.
Yeah, go ahead, Ingo.
It gives some ideas how you can improve content. So that's one kind of use cases that's certainly interesting. Other use cases back to the learner, or where the teacher can give some feedback. Well, I could imagine of some something in our math classes. That's something where both assessment and TINCAN may come together as well. It's possible, maybe you did that already, to have a bunch of JavaScript code that delivers the LRS statements, so that you could reuse this code for in my pages.
You broke up a little bit there. Were you asking?
That's going to be pretty ambitious, actually. I'm wondering how you're going to be able to answer that without large sections of the question.
I don't know if were you asking if the code was available anywhere?
I'll rather type in the chat since the sound connection doesn't seem to be that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
If you were asking about the, sorry, go ahead.
Jesse also had a question regarding the skip. Is it forward or backward, or both is possible?
Yeah, so for the skip, forward and backwards, yeah, both are possible. So if I could probably just skip now. So if I skip forward and then skip backwards and then refresh, I am still sharing, aren't I? Yeah. So we've got a skip. We don't seem to be recording skip in that demo, actually, by the looks of things. But yeah, based on the recipe, skip would work both ways. So as long as the video is paused in both places, a skip backwards, you would have the starting point would be, later on in the video, and the ending point would be earlier on in the video. It's worth saying that this has been up online for a good while now. The blogs are relatively old, and the recipe's been up for a little while. So I'm not aware of anyone specifically adopting this. But I imagine that there are people that are adopting this, and a lot of people will have looked at this. So that's worth considering for this community of practice. Any other questions?
Hi, this is Santosh. One question I have is that does the location of the video matters if it is hosted on YouTube versus any corporate internal?
Yeah, great question. So this isn't just specifically YouTube, this recipe. The demo that I've shown is YouTube, but you can use it, and you should use it, with any video. So even if it's hosted on LMS, or if it's streamed, if it's even maybe downloaded onto a mobile phone, any video you can use this structure to do the tracking.
Okay, and all of the documentations, if I blog side, then we'll be able to figure this out, because we are a LMS provider company, and we're definitely doing some work internally to kind of do the same thing what you are doing. So definitely would love to explore further and see if we can leverage this, or maybe we can also add some resources.
Right. I mean, I imagine that the tricky bit is catching the events, isn't it? Obviously, in the YouTube example, we're relying on the YouTube API. YouTube are handling all of that. And so we're just tying into those YouTube events and sending them statements.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can capture those events from another video, you can send the same statements.
Yeah, we have some players, like video players that we have written out. So we do have some means that we can track these. But definitely this will help out in terms of charting out the paths. Well, thank you.
Okay, I see Ingo's posted his question now, just about having standard JavaScript code that gets the user actions. Yeah, I don't know if that would work with other sites like YouTube if they do the same thing. We're hooking in specifically to the YouTube, particularly YouTube API, which is custom to YouTube. It would be nice if such code could exist, but I don't know if that's technically possible or not. I don't know. I guess the advantage of this, though, is however you're catching those events, you're tracking the data in a standard way, a common way. Yeah, the code is available. Where it is a good question. So I think if it's beeping at me. If we go to that blog that I mentioned, I believe there is a link in there in one of the comments. Do you have an example to visualize the reporting on those statements? I think we do have in Watershed, LRS, there is an example of reporting. I actually have to go for another call now, obviously with the timings changing with this particular call. So I'm not able to show you that, but maybe I could show you Watershed on a future call. I'm just trying to find the code for Ingo before I go. Here we are. This is the code. So yeah, video. So this is the that's the code in the chat for that particular example. So you can have a look at that. As I say, I've got to disappear now, but it's been great chatting to you all. And if anyone does have any follow-up questions, feel free to post them in the Google groups. And obviously we can. I'll be back on another video creative practice call in the future. But yeah, sorry, I've got to rush off. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks.
There has been few efforts regarding code which can work with multiple video formats. So I don't remember the name of one that we had used, but definitely there needs to be more effort on it. I didn't plan to show our effort on video that we did during the last cohort in this meeting, but I thought to do in next meeting. It might be better if I show a bit of it now to make more sense of what Andrew and their team had done with video recipes and what we have done and why video practice is important. So
yeah,
this is
probably a good idea.
This is a view of creating a content in our plugin Grassblade xAPI companion. So if you add xAPI content, you can add a title, you can add the video URL, and select the version, and other settings are not very important. So after you do these settings, you can see the content on the page. I'll just restart. Maybe I'll refresh. So you can see the YouTube video. I'll pause, play. Okay, so in our LRS, I'll refresh. You can see the launched, progressed, interacted, suspended, resumed, progressed, and completed.
And I think, Pankaj, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I think this also demonstrates one of the issues with any of the Experience API communities of practice is that different verbs can be used in different contexts to mean the same thing. So you might have a verb suspended, or I think, as Jesse pointed out, skipped. There may be some ambiguity between vocabularies that are used to describe certain things. So creating a controlled vocabulary per community of practice is one of the potential accomplishments of such a group.
Yeah, exactly. That is the exact reason I decided to show it now, because I had not planned to show, but I decided to show it now so that I can point this exact thing out. We have used a different verb for progressed, interacted, resumed, and the same things are there in the video recipe as well, but we have used different verbs for the same thing. So with video recipes, they have done a lot of extra work with watched and other things, but when we see exact same things can be represented with different verbs, and it can be a problem with reporting tools and to be able to get to a certain standard when we want to integrate multiple systems. So this effort of video community of practice, as well as any other community of practice, is very important, because everyone should be using one format so that we can get meaning out of the data we are recording in the LRS. Otherwise, it will just be a lot of noise and no real data coming out of the LRS. It's very important that LRS can give meaningful information, and for that we need a good effort from community of practices to get something that can be used by everyone. That was the entire point I wanted to show the efforts that we did. The video related code was not done by us, but we integrated into our plugin Grassplate xAPI campaign. Any member of this community can get a free copy of this plugin. You can send me an email and I'll send you a free copy if you are a member of this group. So you can see that there's first quartile seat. It shows the second when you seat. It shows the second when you paused. We have the information, but we need it structured in a way that everyone uses. That is the whole point of Sony. So now coming to the next agenda, I think we have some question. Is this group going to be one of the cohort activities as well? I don't know if this group will be a cohort activity. I think we can discuss and decide if that is a good way to go. So maybe Craig and I and you yourself, Jason, can help us decide what might be the right way to go.
Pardon me. In terms of developing a mission or setting up goals and objectives?
No, Jason had a question that is this group going to be one of the cohort activities as well?
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike, the reason I was asking that was just that there is going to be a lot of meetings and a lot of potential overlap, with the general community of practice activities and some of the cohort stuff. And if you wanted to maybe fast track some of this work and get more people involved, there might be a good opportunity to. And also, just because there's going to be so many different cohorts and meetings going on, people can't possibly attend everything. So I was just asking that kind of also as like a light suggestion in case there was something this group wanted to accomplish. As Craig suggested last week, they put out the concept of a bounty. Maybe there's something that this group could do as part of that cohort to satisfy one of the bounties.
It sounds a good idea. If anyone else has suggestions, or if anyone contradicts. Yes, no, maybe.
Now, this looks good. I mean, like in terms of prioritizing our time so we can make progress, in general sounds a good idea. So we all don't have to be in every meeting in every place. So I'll vote for yes, that we can take this as a concerted effort by this team. I mean, whoever wants to participate, and then make progress a little bit faster, because this can be, can be understood. There's this video playing and some intelligence coming out of the video playing, and it's not only the I will say that group call to just write the statement, but how to aggregate that statement to give a meaningful, like remediations or any like feedback. I think may be helpful to, in general, the whole market and everybody. So I'll vote for yes to fast track. Let's see.
We might get few more people if we make it part of the cohort. That is the key advantage.
Yeah, I mean, what I would suggest, and I don't mean to break in, but what I would suggest, since I'm kind of running the cohort along with other members of ADL, I know that it would probably be easier, one, to get, to kind of streamline your effort to have an effort crystallized as a bounty for the cohort, but it would also serve to get more people on board with the video-specific effort. So, obviously, I'm biased, but I'm in favor of that.
Craig, do you recall, I think there was a cohort group that did a video activity last year or the time before. Do you recall what the outcome of that one was? Because maybe we could
Well, actually, that's a very efficient question to ask, because the person who was doing that was Pankaj. So, yeah. Actually,
that I is part of the cohort activity.
Exactly. Yeah. What he just demoed a few minutes ago was basically I think the goal was to create a WordPress plugin to be able to embed YouTube or Vimeo, and then be able to export API statements, and that was the realization of that. And once again, I actually have to apologize, because at last year's boot camp, I know we had run into some difficulty in demoing it. So we weren't able to show it up in front of everybody along with everybody else's project. But I'm happy to see Pankaj as kind of leading this effort now, so everyone will know about it.
Yeah, so this would be the second outcome of the last cohort activity that I started this COP for video.
Really quickly, Jesse asked a question if we would discuss how to record something using SlideShare.
SlideShare is not a video, but probably it would make more sense to relate it with the ebook related effort, but I don't know if SlideShare gives an API, so we'll have to see if they provide an API to check which visited.
I think that I agree with that, Pankaj. I think that's actually a good idea, Jesse. I think that's a really good project or something to explore for xAPI in general, because that's the tool that many people use, and then a way for people to disseminate slides. So that would be really interesting to have the same sort of thing. But I agree with Pankaj that it would be definitely something more akin to the way that ebooks are tracked. That sounds like a project.
Yeah, but finally it depends if there is an API available to catch those events.
So maybe that's talking about SlideShare and these different players. You have YouTube and Vimeo and HTML5 and all of these different formats. Maybe that's a goal or something this group could try to do as part of the cohort, is define the different profiles within the overall video community practice. So you may have a profile for YouTube, because you have different controllers, you have different types of interactions that can take place within an app player versus one with Vimeo versus one with SlideShare or whatever. So kind of mapping out what those interactions are and what the possible verbs would be might be a good first step. And I think Adam Cooper had done something similar to that with his.
Yeah, so yeah, that is important to know what different video services provide. It will be important probably to see what we need and then see what we can achieve from specific providers. So probably it will be like these features are supported by YouTube and these are supported by Vimeo and these are not supported. So after we have the list of events we want to track, we'll be able to see which we can track using existing services. That is what I think would be the outcome. And it also depends on which platform you are viewing the video. So if you are viewing a YouTube video on desktop versus viewing it on an Android device versus viewing it on iOS device, I guess there might be differences between what events you can track. So there are a lot of different technicalities that we would need to probably study and test. Chris is asking, do we want to consider including events in the recipe for when users annotate or leave links or notes at various times in the video? I guess it is a good idea. Yes.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, again, that's I'm sort of observing, but that sounds like a good idea. But I imagine that would be platform specific, although it should be included, I would imagine.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea, and someone had added, I think, in the list of events and scenarios you would want to track. I don't know. So yeah, it would be a good idea to add, though every platform would not support it, I guess. Jason has shared a link. It is work done by Adam Cooper and his team. It's called LACE project, and they have shared some events which are supported on different platforms. They have not done a complete technical test. I have talked to Adam Cooper, and he might be presenting this project in the next meeting. So yeah, it is a good study, and it will help us along to decide what we want.
Looks like Ingo, did Ingo get this question in about synopsis of the different video APIs might be helpful? I guess we actually just talked about that, sorry. Yeah. Just a short while ago.
Okay, so let's come to, we don't have much time left, but let's see what we can do with missions and goals. If anyone has suggestions, they can write in here. Someone has written, develop a video control verb, vocabulary, and multiple profiles that can be used across multiple domains. Yes. Identify applicable interactions from existing video players. Development of a cross-platform universal player verb vocabulary.
Yeah, those are just some ideas based on everyone's discussions earlier. Just to start throwing in there.
Yeah,
Feel free to tweak those or edit them.
Yeah, we have a lot of people here, so anyone can go in and we can development. Should we develop profiles for each format, or should we develop a profile and then mark what is possible today with specific services like YouTube or Vimeo?
Yeah, that's a good question, Pankaj. I would think the latter, but actually, if anyone thinks is thinking that there should be a specific profile for each video format, I'd like to know what the argument would be for that.
Yeah, because the crux of the thing would be same, and they might be specific features which are not supported on a particular service or on a particular device. So even with YouTube, the same things might not be supported across all devices or across all device formats.
Right.
Maybe a video profile for video experience. Then I don't know. I was just trying to fill up some ideas for goals in here.
Yeah, but it would be nice. But I see what you mean, Jason. It would be nice to indicate somehow if there were a particular platform being used and what the specific case would be there. But I think overall the profile would have to be for the general experience. Although I kind of think about the SCORM profile, as a reference, and that's pretty exhaustive. So maybe it would have to be the same way, or maybe it should be the same way. I guess it's up to the group to find out.
Maybe you can say identify what features are supported on different popular services and platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does bring up a good question. I saw just the other day, YouTube has officially dropped Flash, as the default fallback, and have totally embraced HTML5 now. So now, that Flash issue isn't much of a concern. HTML5 seems to be more widespread, and how do you know if somebody watching a video on their mobile device doesn't Chromecast it up to their television? You don't know what that experience they have control over, and it's probably hard to capture what kind of screen it's actually played on.
Although, in that particular instance, Jason, I would imagine that it would be interesting. Yeah, you would know what screen it's being thrown to. That would be interesting to know. But more importantly, would be the point of access or interaction, which would still be the phone or the laptop or whatever it is.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's some correlations there that could be made, I think, in terms of attentiveness and, do people tend to watch shorter videos, of course, on their mobile device more than they would a longer one, on a larger screen. I populated a few use cases too to get us started down at the bottom there. Pankaj in the other section. Feel free to tweak those. And I put a link too up in the to the header for that use case section to what the Medbiquitous community practice has done. They've done some really good exercises in fleshing out those use cases, and that may be a good next exercise for us in upcoming meetings here. We can work on the charter thing, I think, kind of offline and just have it push everybody to help try to populate it, and maybe only spend a few minutes covering it. Start off each meeting till it's done, but we don't want to spend the whole meeting time talking about the charter ever, because it will just lose people.
Yeah.
But use cases might be a good first activity to really get those defined.
Right.
I put a few in here based on the comments from everyone today. Just as they said, I'm kind of wrote them in here real quick.
Should we discuss the use cases first, or the events that we added last time?
Well, I think what happens in a particular use case may let you may inform some of the things you may want to try to capture from the players, and vice versa, I guess. Probably either one is fine.
Right. So, yeah.
It could be a work in progress. I mean, we could add use cases and keep adding to them as we think of them.
Yeah. So I can read out, and maybe it will be a good food for thought end of this meeting. Basic tracking individual video interactions for learner activity or inactivity awareness. So, yeah, inactivity awareness is an interesting thing. I guess it means knowing which part of the video is not being consumed or where people leave out.
Yeah, I mean, by that I'm just meant basic tracking. Let's say some students were assigned to go watch a video, and you just want to know how many people actually went out and accessed it. That's just a real basic level 1 type of tracking.
Yeah.
Analytics don't have
results of individual user. Using results for individual user interactions to improve quality of video. Yeah, so this is the basic reporting of the basic results, I guess.
Yeah, I wrote that in there earlier based on what Andrew said. That was his feedback on maybe to Ingo on some of the different types of things he was saying to improve the quality.
Yeah. Using results for individual user interactions to see which part of the video were watched most. So it's related to the first point. And it might be interesting for people to know this as well, because it can have two meanings. People might watch video multiple times because it is interesting, and people might watch video multiple times because the video is not clear. So
that's right.
They may
that's right. And they may skip to the part that they wanted to recall.
Yeah, so if it is interesting and it is important for them, they might rewatch it, or if it is blurry or correlate individual test scores with number of times or amount of video that was accessed. So yeah, there can be different types of correlations. You might want to correlate with the time, maybe correlate with the local time of the person, correlate with the number of times they watch. There might be other relations like if we can see what times people watch this video and what is the outcome. Let's say there is a test related to this video, and let's say the users, students take the course or watch the video in the evening of their time or in the morning or at night. And if there is a large audience, it might be useful to know that there is a effect of time of study of the video, or they can
Yeah, definitely.
Marketing related correlations if it is a marketing video.
Can make those, I guess, correlations with the timestamp.
Yeah, maybe the timestamp or the hour of the day. Annotation, comments, notes left by the user on the video. Yeah, so this is an interesting thing, and we might need a lot of suggestion here.
It looks like Ingo put pasted a few more use cases there in the chat window. If you
Jesse says, please also consider if there are transcripts. So transcripts. I didn't understand exactly what Jesse wants to say. Provide video feedback in an assessment. Example, repoint learner to video if he didn't watch it completely. This is very interesting. So yeah, if a student didn't watch the complete video and he skipped some parts, an ability to repoint the user to that specific point of the video will be useful. Video assessment. If user reaches a particular point in a video, then point him to an appropriate test for understanding. I think this would be very much dependent on the services, but yeah, I think yeah, it would be possible. Currently, a lot of people use authoring tools and add videos, parts of videos and tests in between them. But yeah, it can be interesting that we hook into the YouTube or Vimeo API and get an assessment in the middle of the video. Maybe pause the video and do an assessment. So should we format these use cases something like Medbiquitus has done, or should we continue to just have these tables?
I think this is fine. I mean, I was just referring to the link and what they did. They've kind of done the same thing. I don't even know that they've done anything more. They just had complete statements about what they were doing. I like how you've broken it up into multiple columns here. We may even add more. I think this is fine.
Okay.
One thing they've done, I noticed after that, I don't know if you guys saw the link I provided, but they went back through after they identified a number of use cases, and then they kind of consolidated them amongst common themes. And I think that helped them to more directly focus, not duplicate some of the different use cases. And
yeah, we'll definitely find new events that we would want to track based on these use cases, and would need to find easier ways to achieve these use cases.
they also referenced a nursing competencies checklist because this is the health field. If there's something similar that we could leverage, like a checklist, maybe an educational institution or somewhere where they actually have specific objectives that they tie to, video watching activities that may be of use. I don't know if there's anything like that out there, but.
Yeah. I think we can end this meeting today, and if someone wants to keep writing in more use cases and more ideas for objectives and mission, you guys can keep writing.
Cool. Well, thanks, Pankaj, for getting this together.
Thanks, everyone. See you guys in the next meeting. Next meeting will be on 3rd March. It will be at the same time, 2:30 to 3:30 EST.
Excellent.
So,
all right. Well, see you guys. I'm sure I'll see most of you in another meeting at another time, but otherwise we'll see you then.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.